Welcome athletes to the 2013 Omegawave World Triathlon San Diego Triathlon event. We're really excited to have you here with us, and congratulations for signing up and participating in this iconic event. San Diego is actually only one of 8 cities throughout the world that gets to host one of the ITU Olympic distance triathlon events, and it's the only stop here in North America. So it's a real pleasure to have you with us. At the 2013 event this year, you're actually going to be sharing the same course and parts of the same course and the same finish line as the top elite athletes in the world. And this year that includes the gold, silver, and bronze medal winners from the 2012 Olympics, which is a really great thing for San Diego to have. There's an incredible amount of worldwide media and TV coverage that comes with the ITU events, as well as this year, a course for you that's very flat and fast and on completely closed and safe roads. The 2013 event is taking place once again at Mission Bay in San Diego, and it's going to be along the boardwalk and beach, right next to beachgoers, the weekend of April 18th through the 20th. And it's going to feature 130 elite athletes and well over 2,000 amateur age group athletes. Also new this year is going to be the ITU Para Triathlon, which is going to be introduced into the next Paralympic Games. My name is Lars Finanger, and I'm the race director of the age group race here at the San Diego Triathlon. What we're going to be doing today is doing a webinar, which is taking the place of the pre-race meeting. We're going to go over a lot of topics, including course previews for the swim, bike, and run. We're also going to go over some of the challenges that are out there along the course, things that you need to be aware of when you're on the course, and then also the event schedule to walk you through the Thursday, Friday, Saturday logistics of the weekend. We'll start with something that might be basic for you guys, but you'll know you're in the right place for the Olympic triathlon. It includes a 1,500-meter swim, 40-kilometer bike, 10K run, and the sprint distance is going to be 700-meter swim, 20K bike, and 5K run. The swim venues taking place in Ventura Cove, which is part of Mission Bay. The bike course is going to take place throughout the Mission Bay area, and it's a very flat and fast course this year, which is going to include SeaWorld Drive as well as Fiesta Island, which is one of the most famous local roads here. And we've actually introduced a special challenge this year for everyone who goes after a really fast time around Fiesta Island. The run course is going to take place along South Mission Bay. It's going to feature running along the boardwalk, both on the bay side and the ocean side, and it's going to very closely mimic what the elites are doing as well. So that's going to be a fun run course that really gets a tremendous amount of spectators throughout. Let's walk through the event weekend, starting with Thursday, April 18th. The expo kicks things off between 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. That's also where you're going to be able to go to get your athlete packet pickup. You'll also have another chance on Friday, the 19th, to also go to the expo and packet pickup. Friday is also going to be a mandatory bike check-in, so we actually ask you to bring your bikes the night before the race, the afternoon and the evening before the race, to leave it there. That just leads to less congestion on race morning. Finally, if you did sign up for it, there is a special VIP packet pickup on race morning, and those times are also, all the times actually are listed on the website at sandiego.triathlon.org. So if you have any questions about particular times, specific times, please go to the website, which is very detailed. We will approach the subject of parking and bus shuttle transportation a little bit later, but we do want to let you know that on race morning, the time schedule that's going to take place, starting with the Olympic distance, which also the aqua bike fits into the wave starts of the Olympic distance event. The transition area is over on the Ventura Cove side of the bay, and transition is going to open at 4:30 in the morning, It's going to close at 6:15, so you have plenty of time to get everything situated in transition and get out of there and head over to the swim start. The Olympic distance and aqua bike start, the first wave is going to go at 6:30. The sprint distance race is going on Saturday, April 20th. The transition is going to open at 6:45, and that transition area is going to close then at 8:35 with sprint distance wave starting at 8:45. The new paratriathlon edition this year is going to have an 8:25 start, so in between the Olympic and sprint distance races. With the flat and fast bike course this year, the bike course cutoff times is 11 a.m., which should be plenty of time for everyone to get off the bike course. If for some reason you are still out on the bike course by 11 a.m. when we start our rolling closure, we're going to have a SAG vehicle that will take your timing chip and give you a lift back to transition. You will not be able to continue on the course after that point. It's just city rules that we have to strictly enforce. And again, you should have plenty of time to get through this flat and fast bike course. Let's jump back to the parking and the shuttle situation quick. The Sunrunner parking lot is the lot that we've designed for athletes and spectators. It's going to be open with shuttles going every 15 minutes between 1:30 and 5:30 p.m. on Friday. That's going to go to the Hyatt Regency Mission Bay. It can't go all the way to the race venue because of the elite women's race that's taking place at that time, but it's only about a 10 to 12 minute walk to the race venue. Between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. is when the shuttles are going to return back to the Sunrunner lot from Bonita Cove parking lot. And the last shuttle of the day is going to be at 7 p.m. On Saturday, the shuttles are going to start at 4 a.m. and they're going to run all the way through 9:30 p.m. to Bonita Cove East parking lot. Again, that's going to be every 15 minutes. And then between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., the shuttles are going to be available from the Hyatt Regency Mission Bay. And that's because of the road closures for both age group races and the elite race. You're going to receive tri-tats as part of your packet pickup, so that'll reduce some of the waiting time to get body marking on race morning. What you're going to want to do is we're going to go through the swim course, actually. So looking at the swim course, which is taking place in Ventura Cove, it's a very controlled and calm body of water. It's going to be a clockwise swim, and the water temperatures are currently in the low 60s, so wetsuits are going to be legal, and we certainly recommend them. The course that's on your right here, you're going to want to keep that first yellow buoy, which will be obvious on race day. You're going to keep that first yellow buoy to your left, and then all other yellow buoys are going to be kept on your right. There's also going to be additional orange buoys that are smaller, but those orange buoys are just sighting buoys. Most importantly, though, keep that first yellow buoy on the left and all others on your right. There's also going to be a lane for warm-up, and that's going to be in between the swim start and the swim exit point. So you'll have plenty of opportunity to warm up before your swim start. You'll be able to find your swim start time both at packet pickup, also in the transition. We'll have signs posted where you can find your swim wave time. The first swim wave starts at 6:30 in the morning, and they'll continue going every 5 minutes through 7:20, which is the last Olympic distance swim start time. For the sprint race, the paratriathlon swim will go at 8:20. They'll be their own separate swim start. And then the age group race will start at 8:45 with the swim start with the first wave, and that will go every 5 minutes until 9:05. The paratriathlon and the sprint distance swims are on a bit of a modified course from the Olympic. It's a 750-meter swim versus a 1,500-meter swim. Keep it clockwise still. keep the yellow buoys on the right at all times, and there's going to be 2 yellow buoys that you need to keep on your right. And again, the orange buoys are sighting buoys. Again, any course maps that you want to find in more detail with anything can be found at sandiego.triathlon.org. The bike course is different for 2013. They flattened it out, eliminated a very hilly section that you had to do twice for the Olympic and once for the sprint. It is still a 2-lap bike course that covers 40K with the Olympic distance and aqua bike, and it's a 1-lap 20-kilometer course for the sprint distance. We're going to go through a few areas where there could potentially be some congestion and where there's 2-way traffic with cyclists. In those sections, you're just going to want to make sure that you follow all course signs, which include no passing zones, slowing down, and just being very respectful of your fellow competitors out there on the course, because there are a few tight turns, which we'll go through. There's not going to be any aid stations on the bike because it is very flat and very fast. So you do need to make sure to pack your own water and gels and Gatorade and electrolyte drinks. The first area on the bike course that's going to have some congestion is coming out of the transition area from Gleason Road onto West Mission Bay Drive. Sprint distance racers who are going out onto the bike are just going to have to be very careful for Olympic distance racers who are starting their second lap. We will have barricades and cones out there with signs as well to mark that out, but just keep your head up in that situation. You're not going to win or lose the race in a very just leaving transition area or just heading out on your second lap. So exercise caution, Olympic distance racers with that U-turn, and sprint distance racers as you're merging on the end of that course. As well, some racers are going to be finishing their bike course at that time. They're going to be using the far right lane closest to Ventura Cove. And just respect, again, that you're nearly done with the bike, and it's okay to slow down a little bit, get your feet out of your shoes and get ready to dismount there. About 1.5 miles or 2 miles up the road off the West Mission Bay Drive exit onto Ingram Street, there's going to be a very tight, you're on an exit ramp, and it's going to be a tight right-hand turn when you're going out on the bike and a sharp left turn coming back in from your loop. Both out and inbound cyclists are going to want to slow down. That is going to be a no-pass zone. It is going to be well marked with barricades and cones, but you will certainly want to slow down and adhere to all the signs that are going to be out there, which will include no passing and slow down. After that point on Ingram, you're going to continue on, and about 1/4 mile to 1/2 mile later, you're going to enter Sunset Cliffs Road, which becomes very narrow right away underneath the West Mission Bay roads that are above. Very narrow road. You're going to have cones dividing. That's going to be a no-pass zone, and you just need to keep your speed under control there. Again, the race is not going to be won or lost in that section. You're going to have 2-way cycling traffic there on those very narrow roads. You're just going to want to exercise caution. Again, no pass right there. After that, the bike course is fairly straight open. You're just going to follow all the course signs. You're going to have people, volunteers out on the course who are going to be waving you on and cheering for you along the way. Very flat and fast course. You will have time to really gain back that time that we asked of you to not pass. You'll get to Fiesta Island, and this year Fiesta Island, the ITU has the Fiesta Island world record. It's a 4.1 mile stretch that's extremely popular here in San Diego with all cyclists, and we want to honor you and brand that as the world record holder. So Olympic distance racers, you get 2 shots at putting up a time on that island with you doing 2 laps. And sprint distance racers, you get 1 shot at that. But it's a very flat section of road. You've got some wind on, you'll have certainly some side winds on the back half of it. But it's a great opportunity to really let your time trialing prowess and to mash on those gears and put a good fast 4.1 mile time together. The run course is really a fun one because you're going to be following the same run course as what the elites will be later in the day. The Olympic distance is going to be a 10K, which is going to be 2 laps. The sprint distance, 5K, 1 lap. It's a very flat and fast course again along the boardwalk, both on the bay side and the ocean side. There's going to be 3 aid stations per lap, and those are each going to have water, Gatorade, and goo, so you'll be well fortified there. And use special precaution. After each of the aid stations, there will be a specific para-triathlon aid station. Because they are drug controlled, they have drug testing, we have sealed water bottles that we use for them. That is designated only for para-triathletes, so that will be set up again shortly after the age group tables. The final slide here just takes you through a venue overview, which is more closely seen on sandiego.triathlon.org. But if you look at the expo venue, we will really have a lot of great opportunities for you there. There's going to be a beer garden. That's where the packet pickup is. That's where your bike valet pickup is and drop off. Vendor check-in is there, and volunteer check-in. That's where all the fun and the action happens after the race is held. And after you've finished this iconic race, that's also where the finishing area is. So after you've gone through the age group recovery area and had fun chumming it up with your fellow competitors, helped yourself to food, that's also going to be where you're going to watch the portions of the ITU elite race that happen later on the day before and then later on that Saturday afternoon. It's going to be where the grandstands are, where the huge Jumbotron video wall is, and also where the beer garden is. And most importantly for everyone, that's also where the finish line is, which shares the same iconic blue carpet as the ITU events around the world. That's the conclusion of what we have here. It is a non-drafting race, and there will be officials, USAT officials out there on the course. The most important thing to remember is stay to the right-hand side of the road at all times. The the officials will tell you what the drafting rules are if you have any questions on race day. But go to usatriathlon.org and brush up on what those rules and regulations are. There will be, again, officials out there who will give out penalties for drafting and blocking and all the rules that happen at all USAT sanctioned races throughout the U.S. Thanks again for checking in, and have a safe training period leading up to your race, and have a great race weekend.